Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Appreciate you jumping on. Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. It definitely helps the channel. Today, we are going to talk about XRP's stablecoin surge, how RLUSD is shaking things up within Ripple and the XRP community as a whole. Before we dive into that, let's take a look at pricing. Bitcoin sitting at 84,121. Ethereum sitting at 1,609. Tether at the number 3 spot. XRP at the number 4 spot, sitting at $2.12. Down 1.85% over the last 24 hours, but up 14.55% in the last 7 days. And Solana at the number 6 spot, also down in the last 24 hours, but up almost 22% in the last 7 days, sitting at $128.23. Now, let's dive in to XRP's stablecoin surge here, if you will. Just for a second, forget about XRP. RLUSD, Ripple's stablecoin, might just steal the show. This is definitely a curveball. This is flipping the script because XRP has so much potential. So, Ripple's pushing RLUSD hard. And you'll see in this video with Ripple CTO David Schwartz just why that is the case. So let's take a listen to David here. This is from John Squire first, who says, "Game changer alert. Ripple CTO David Schwartz just shook the crypto world. XRP will now auto bridge RLUSD. This could bring billions to the XRP ledger and set the stage for a massive price surge. Are you ready for what's coming?" Take a listen to this, ladies and gentlemen.
Fits the broader XRP ledger ecosystem, driving more use cases and opportunities for developers. While XRP is the native currency on the ledger, it was built to support any type of asset, crypto or fiat, issued to trade on the DEX. Bringing more credible assets on the DEX, like RLUSD, drives direct and indirect benefits. For example, it drives more trading volume, which natively uses XRP as a bridge asset through auto-bridging and generally benefits users, developers, and apps. A unique feature of the XRPL DEX is that auto-bridging utilizes XRP as the native currency to facilitate trades between any two assets on the ledger. It automatically considers XRP as an intermediary to find the most efficient trading route across assets. RLUSD and XRP will complement each other because of the inherent differences of the cryptocurrencies. For Ripple's proprietary payment products, XRP will continue to be used as a bridge currency. Given the XRPL's speed, cost, and scalability, we see RLUSD being able to foster the growth of new on-chain applications like real-world asset tokenization, foreign exchange markets, and trade settlement. We're entering a growing market expected to see significant expansion, especially with stablecoins. Builders will certainly take advantage of the new opportunities presented by this ecosystem.
Great share there by Mr. John Squire. And we know stablecoins are going to be the first bill passed by Congress. They want to get those out there and fast. We're hearing by August this will be on Trump's desk to approve. So, RLUSD is pegged to the dollar. It's built on the XRPL. Excuse me, it's built on the XRPL, and banks love stability. And it's live in places like Dubai already. So, XRP's volatility, RLUSD is steady. If banks adopt it for trillion-dollar flows, XRP might just be the sidekick in some of this. So, XRP or RLUSD, who's the real winner? Good thing is you really don't have to choose because they're both going to get utilized very often. So, let me know, in your opinion, what's going to be the first to take off? Is it going to be RLUSD or is it going to be XRP? Or is it going to happen at the same time? Let me know. Do me a favor, make sure you like and subscribe. so you can hear the latest on XRP, RLUSD, and more. Now, let's jump down here to the next piece of news with Dom from EZA saying, he's been saying this for a while now, the top 1 and 2 cryptos by market cap, Bitcoin and ETH, already have approved ETFs. The next crypto ETF to be approved will very likely be XRP, third largest crypto by market cap. He says don't overthink it. And he shared here an article that says XRP most likely to get US spot ETF approval ahead of Sol and Doge. And it says data from Kaiko entices shows XRP and Sol boast the deepest 1% market depth on vetted exchanges, with XRP surging past Solana since late 2024 and doubling Cardano's ADA in liquidity. So there you have it. Dom and a lot of other smart folks in this industry believe the next ETF is going to be XRP, and it could be announced very shortly. Now, let's move on to Mr. Mann here, who comes in and says the SEC and government is about to receive $50 million in XRP. He says, great find at Subjective Views. Let's take a listen to this brief clip here with Brad Garlinghouse.
The SEC is going to end up with a $50 million. The U.S. government's going to get $50 million. We've even talked about making that available in XRP. The SEC is going to end up with a $50 million. The U.S. government's going to get $50 million. We've even talked about making that available in XRP. The SEC.
There you have it, straight from Brad Garlinghouse's mouth. They've already discussed having that fund delivered in XRP. So here we come from the same interview. Breaking, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse talks hidden road acquisition and XRP adoption under President Trump. This is from that same interview, but just a little longer here. Take a listen to this. Very good stuff. Shout out to Good Morning Crypto for sharing.
You know, President Trump has made big strides that are very pro-crypto. It's got to be great for somebody like you. However, the price of, let's just say Bitcoin, which reached a high after the election of something like $107,000, is nowhere near that now. I think we're around 86,000 and change, but it's been a market drop. When do you foresee this moving back up? Because we've seen all kinds of wild projections of something like $250,000 per Bitcoin by the end of this year, to people who say this thing's going down.
Yeah. When I think about that, you know, your last guest, Larry Fink, talked about just taking the long-term view.
Right.
And I almost don't think about it in that kind of short-term time frame. I think about what are the macro trends playing out for the crypto industry, for the XRP ecosystem. XRP's been the best performing major crypto in the last 90 days. We think about it as, what does that look like over the next 3 years? I'm very optimistic. I mean, Ripple just announced our largest acquisition, actually one of the largest acquisitions in the entire crypto industry to date. We announced it earlier this week on Tuesday, in the middle of tariff palooza. You know, I don't know exactly what's going to happen with the tariffs, but we're betting on where the world's going to be in 3 years, not what's going to happen in the next 6 months.
Would you have made that acquisition a year ago?
No, hard no. Look, the SEC in the United States and even other parts of the Biden administration, it was a coordinated attack across many different agencies. Mm-hmm. We're finding that more and more out now. You already highlighted it in your introduction. The IRS had hostile rules about crypto that really didn't make any sense. Banks weren't even allowed to reasonably custody crypto without having an equal offset to their balance sheet, which really makes no sense for a bank then to even partake in this industry. It's a real industry. People want, I mean, that administration wasn't listening to consumers. They weren't listening to the voter and what the voter wanted. We're now seeing a significant change across the board. And an acquisition like that would have made no sense a year ago, and it makes a lot of sense now.
It is truly amazing.
There you have it. You heard it there from Liz. It's truly amazing what a difference a couple years makes in this case. And it's definitely positive for Ripple and the entire crypto community. Finally here from Zach Rector, he says, case conclusion coming. He's retweeting James K. Phelan here, who says, SEC Gov versus Ripple. The parties have filed a joint motion to hold the appeal in abeyance based on the parties' agreement to settle. The settlement is awaiting commission approval. No brief will be filed on April 16th. So this is why a lot of folks believe we're going to hear some massive news on or around the 16th through the 20th as this agreement and case comes to an official close. Hopefully, we hear something shortly. That would be tremendous news. So, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Stay on this channel. I'm going to give you the most up-to-date on information on XRP, RLUSD, Ripple, and more. We will see you on the flip side.